tell me about some of your co-stars.
Oh, I don't like to talk about them. No.
No.
You know what? They are my co-stars. Those are my friends and my family.
With the 911 cast, what was that moment you knew you all clicked?
You know, I think, there was a scene where we actually were all together. You know, sometimes, I'm doing my thing as police and they're firemen, they're doing their thing. But sometimes we get a chance to come together, and when we do, and we cannot, actually set action, and we're laughing and joking and that sort
get
of
it
thing.
together.
Yeah.
You're like, no, this is the best stuff, right?
Angela Bassett. I was just talking to my friend last night about her. She doesn't know she's Angela Bassett.
Yeah, she doesn't know what she's already done.
Yeah, she was sitting there, no makeup, halfway done. And usually actresses are all about you gotta look, 100%.
I'm not going out of this room until I look 100.
Put the role. Yeah.
Exactly. So she came out there to chop it up with us, and just a real person, like a natural person.
Yeah.
And same thing with Aisha Hines, Kenna Troy, Oliver Stark, Peter Krause, the whole cast, man. We actually hang out. And this weekend, actually on my birthday, they were the ones that surprised me.
You're nervous about other things when you're getting ready to be on a TV show, but for me, it's like when you hear your own voice on your answering machine. I'm 190 years old. I just realized there's really a little button.
Do you have an answering machine?
Hello, I can't get the phone right now. So oh my God, that's so embarrassing. My husband's gonna be like, why did you say answering machine on national television? Anyway, but it's like when you hear your voice back for the first time, you realize how annoying you sound, right?
Oh.
So I get this job, and my whole job is to be like, 911, what's your emergency? And you can't be I'm a perky person, right? So I can't be like, hey, 911, what's up? How can I, you've got to calm it down. So every time I do, I'm like, hello, 911. And then you're like, don't sound sexy because that's creepy.
Yeah,
and it takes a lot. There's a lot that goes into this, people.
Oh, yeah, I know. I mean, you seem exhausted.
Did you guys do some team building exercises?
There's an episode where there's a plane crash, and that episode was filmed over the months of October, November, December, and January. It took a really long time. We had to film out at Dockweiler Beach, which is the beach that is just outside of LAX. You can still have bonfires there, which is interesting. So if you want to go out to LA and have a bonfire and watch giant 747s fly over you, it's a pretty cool experience. So they dug a giant hole at Disney Ranch and filled it with water, but not before they constructed a cradle to lower an aircraft into it by crane. So they purchased an old aircraft. They had welders out there building this cradle, and once they got the cradle done, lower the aircraft into it, and then start filling it with water. I think the coldest it was at night was in the upper 20s. So there were some nights where Oliver and Aisha and I, because they have this floating ferry of a dock that they'd rope tow away from the plane, so you knew you're stuck out there in the middle of this man-made lake. And they'd start the wave machines, and it was windy. And so being stuck out there are times, honestly, just for warmth, the three of us would huddle together as close as we could. And Oliver, I joke with him because he's a vegan, he got the coldest first. He'd start to really shiver, And Aisha and I would just kind of huddle around him. We had secret scarves tucked in the overhead compartments that we could wrap around ourselves and kind of tuck up against the plane when it was windy. It was a tough shoot, but it's a pretty cool episode.
When I first met these guys, I was the only female, and so it was just that kind of thing of are we going to talk about sports all day, or what are we doing? And so, but they were so, welcoming and warm, and we all clicked on day one and have not stopped falling in love with each other since. Yeah,
You do have a lot of funny moments together. That's
we're
breaks
starting
up
to think they're bugging our hangouts because we're starting
Just working it into the show.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, I just talked to Oliver about that. How is it in the episode now?
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. All right. This has been a group flashlight confession. Watch 911. Bye.
Bye.
My eyes are burning.
Video. Just press video.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. No.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah. Are we singing?
Yeah. No, we're saying it.
We should say it.
I think we should just say it.
Sing it and say it. We should say it first. Say it first.
Say it first. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday, Angela! And now
Now
sing
we're
it.
gonna sing it.
Happy birthday to you.
I love your character on the show, and obviously with your son on the show. Has that prepared you to be a dad in real life?
It has, yeah. I remember the very first scene I had was walking Gavin, who plays Christopher, to school. And the whole time I was doing it, I was just imagining, oh my God, I'm gonna have to actually do this in a couple of years. So I started crying a little bit, and it wasn't even time to film. So like, right, save it. You know, yeah, wait till we roll.
You're like, trust me, I got a lot stored up.
Yeah, don't worry.
Can I show you something on my arm right now?
Okay.
You want to see this? Look at this right here, right?
What is that? What happened?
I fell off the fire truck. I was, fucked from the fire truck, but I also did. So yeah, we take some hits.
Also, that first episode where I had to be on top of a shipping crane, which is about 125 feet in the air. And I usually don't have any problem with heights. I climb mountains and things like that, but the surface was a metal grate, so you can see straight down. So you take this, rickety elevator up to the top. I got out, I was feeling fine, I was looking around, and then I looked down, and I could see straight down because it's metal grate, because they don't want anything to collect up there. All there is one bar to hang on to. You can slip out in between, and you can go over the top. But that was when the woman she jumps off the edge of the building. And
Did you have lines from up there that you had to do?
yeah, I said, I know what you're feeling, I can help you. And of course you see that she jumps, and so when that promo aired, my friend Scott Simon texted me and said, I hope you don't mind if I'm feeling like ending it all, I'm going to call somebody else.
That calendar episode was one of my favorites, just watching you guys trying to one-up each other in your weird way.
Yeah, I'm still living in that mode personally. He's fine. He doesn't. He's as much as we were on the show. He's not intimidated at all, and I'm always like trying to. I'm taller. No.
He's a veteran of the Army, Silver Star awardee for saving a convoy and doing a lot of heroic acts. I'm sure we'll dive into that later on throughout the season. I don't know, maybe season 3, 4, whatever. But actually, he's just a stand-up guy.
And Guzman, playing the new firefighter. He's a little too handsome for my liking, so I say no. He's a real good guy.
There was some rivalry between your characters, correct? Has that figured itself out, or?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
He wasn't as threatened. I was.
Yeah. You were a little bit more threatened. Oh, technical difficulty. Oh, malfunction.
No, it's. Oh, that's fine. Just Oliver.
Okay, which one of you
Yes.
relaxes by watching Shark Tank and say yes to the dress?
I gotta go. Oh, I like that, Oliver. Balance.
I love love, all right, and I'm not ashamed of it. All right. And sometimes the dresses are really pretty.
Have you ever called 911 in England or here?
I don't. In Britain, if you called 911, you wouldn't get anyone.
What is it in Britain?
Do you know what? This is my thing. It's much easier. It's 999. It's all in the same place. You don't have to move your finger.
That is a little easier, huh? You think we could have figured that out?
Maybe we stole it. I know.
We had a little accident on your very first day of shooting that left your co-stars in stitches.
Yeah.
Tell everyone what you did.
Well, I was real amped up about getting to this kid who had been drowning in this pool, and we rehearsed it, and then I thought, all right, let's get that kid. And we're in this kind of glass-walled house, and I forgot where the door was, and I just walked straight into a window.
Oh no, I go.
Yeah, Aisha, you'll see, eventually winds up on the floor in there.
Oh my gosh.
They all had a really good laugh.
Was there anything when you read that script, you're like, we're really doing this?
Every script. Every script, I'm like, guys, there's a shark on the highway? Okay, all right, okay.
The firefighter crew, that's like a family in itself, and even the firefighters and the police together, when you arrive on a scene, it's like a family. I mean, the number one goal is everybody gets out of there alive, everybody gets out of there safe.